What's up, guys? Let's get real here for a second. Because most of the guys that I talk to, most of my clients tell me that they would love for their woman to be more feminine. Because at the end of the day, that's what most of us guys want. We want a soft, nurturing, feminine, respectful, submissive woman. The good news is there's really only one thing you need to do for the woman you're seeing or the woman you're with for her to be more in her feminine. And I guarantee you, if you apply what I teach you in this video, you will see her behavior change very quickly, sometimes overnight, and she will be more in her feminine around you. And any woman you're seeing will be more in her feminine around you. So without further ado, let's fucking dive in. Let's cut straight to the chase here. The one thing a woman needs to be in her feminine, whether it's in a committed relationship, a dating phase, or whatever kind of connection, is containment. And to explain what I mean by this, let me give you an analogy. Imagine a clam with a pearl inside, right? The clam has a hardened outer shell, and inside is this beautiful, delicate, pretty, mesmerizing and just divine pearl. That is her feminine. But this pearl can only be so beautiful and exist there in this sort of protected environment if it has that clamshell around it to protect it. Else someone is gonna, disrupt it. And you can see this when clams, they usually open when they feed. But if you put something in there, your finger or a stick or whatever, they close up to protect what's inside. This is the idea of containment. And now you can see that if the pearl inside doesn't feel protected, she will become hardened herself. She will step into her masculine. She will become super critical, competitive, not be receptive to your advances and to connections because she doesn't feel contained and she doesn't feel safe. So she has to do it herself. One thing you absolutely need to know about containment, though, is that it's not about dominating her. It's not about suppressing her. It's not about seeing her as less than you, as putting her into a sort of prison, not letting her move around, all this sort of stuff. These are the things that women have been actively fighting against with feminism, and for good reasons. So when you give her containment that isn't domineering and suppressing and all of these things, but really is nurturing, loving, providing, protecting, where you allow her to thrive and be in her feminine because you're just a protective shell around it, then you will see her be able to relax, to become more nurturing, more loving, more respectful, more soft, more feminine herself. To really drive this point home, let me give you a quick example. Look at the way a lot of guys take care of their cars. If it's like a nice old-timer car, a Ferrari or whatever, they don't just put it in the garage and keep it in there and say, oh, you're not allowed to go out, I won't drive you because something might happen. No. They put it in the garage, but they also take it out. They give it, a safe shelter, but they also take it for a ride and explore the world with it. They clean it regularly. They give it good fuel. They do an oil change, all that kind of stuff. So really think about that. Think about that kind of energy that these guys are putting in there, and maybe you're one of them. And think about how that affects the car, how you really try to provide the best possible environment for it and protect it at the same time. That is the kind of containment you need to give to a woman as well. And there are many ways how you can provide this containment, but let's look at the three major categories. That is physical, emotional, and mental containment. Physical containment is very simple. It basically means to give her a physically safe environment. For example, if you're walking through the city, you walk on the side of the street, of the pavement, where all the cars come because it's more dangerous. You sleep on the side of the bed where the door is because that's where the potential burglar comes in. You seek physical contact with her. You ask her how she's doing, how she's feeling. If you're on a business trip and she's at home, you check in with her. You send her a message and ask, hey, everything okay with you? You hold open doors for her. You pour water into her glass. You pick her up. Everything. That creates physical containment. It's about creating a safe and nurturing and secure space for her. Emotional containment works much in the same way, but on a purely emotional level. That means if she, is upset about something, if she's sad, if she comes home from work, has had a bad day and wants to rant, everything, you provide the space where she can live out her emotions. You don't need to fix any problems for her. You don't need to calm her down. You basically don't need to actively do anything. In 99% of the cases, you just need to sit there, listen, hug her when needed, and affirm and validate her emotions so she can work through them. That's your job as the clamshell in that case, where you provide that safe space so the pearl inside can bounce around, work through everything, and then get back to a calm and centered and divine state. Last but not least, mental containment is everything that has to do with the purely rational level. This means be decisive and take the lead. Make a decision about where you're going to eat tonight. Plan things out. Create a structure for her. For example, I'm dating a woman currently, and she's going to visit me soon. And she asked, okay, so what are we going to do? And I thought about this idea of containment and that she probably wants me to plan something, and I really like doing that. So I sat down and I wrote down like a little list of, these are our options. This is what we're definitely going to do. Then we can pick and choose from these depending on how it feels. I'm going to pick you up at the train station and everything. And the reaction was this, it was so beautiful, She was so head over heels for it. She was like, oh my God, this is so nice. Thank you so much. And just, you could really feel how she relaxed into her feminine, how she became soft, how she got these big deer eyes and just looking at me like, oh, thank you for giving me this containment. So if you take care of these three categories, physical, emotional, and mental containment, you will already see a massive shift in her. But of course, sometimes it can take some time because the woman might not be used to be able to relax into her feminine and to feel safe. And this is partly because of past experiences she might have had, but it's also because of this kind of narrative that is playing out in society right now, where we encourage women to be more masculine, more competitive, more hardened, more everything. And of course, if that's what you grew up with and that's what everyone has told you, it's really hard to break free from that. So what containment also means is to help her face the parts in herself that resist that containment. This means that if you provide this containment, but you feel that she isn't able to relax into it, then you talk to her about it and you help her explore what it is that's holding her back, what still makes her feel unsafe, what still is the barrier for her to relax and be in her feminine. So now you know what containment is and how to give it to her. However, it also requires a certain kind of work on your part, because you need to be the man that is able to give that containment, to be that protective and providing and really safe, secure clamshell for her, in order for her to be able to be the beautiful, feminine, divine pearl on the inside. The cool thing is that containment usually comes naturally to men. We like to protect and provide and take care of things and other people. However, there are a few things that might be in your way and that might keep you from providing this containment in the best possible way. And this is stuff that, turns up in one way or the other for pretty much every guy I've talked to, every guy I've worked with. So I'll just give you a quick breakdown of these and you can see what applies most to you and where you might have some work to do. First, there are insecurities. And I know a lot of guys don't like to talk about them, but it's a perfectly human thing to have them. It's just part of the human condition to be insecure about some stuff. But if you have this shadow, if you hide a lot of things about yourself because you're afraid that other people might find out about them, then it's very hard for you to provide that containment, because you have sort of trigger spots, soft spots that someone can poke, and you will have like a massive reaction because you want to hide that insecurity or because there's something you feel insecure about. And this isn't about, becoming the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the room. No, absolutely not. It's simply about taking an honest look at yourself and saying, okay, this is maybe stuff that I feel insecure about, and there's a shadow because I have not accepted these parts of myself. And that's really the work that you need to do in order to provide the best possible containment, is to accept all your parts, to accept everything that is in the shadow, to look at it, to shine light onto it, and to simply accept it about yourself. That's all there is to do. Another thing is what I call grounded confidence, which basically means to be happy and confident and grounded in your life, within yourself, without the need for external validation, without the need for something from the outside that helps you deal with your life and bear your life and actually be happy. Because if you have this need for something from the outside, you will be dependent on others, be dependent on her in a way. And the clamshell cannot be dependent on the pearl for its ability to protect and provide and give that containment. Because then the pearl is involved in the job of containment, and again, the pearl will have to harden, will have to become more masculine. So really the point here is to build a life for yourself, to work through your stuff so you're happy and confident and grounded and at peace with being yourself. Last but not least is to master your emotions, because you're a human being and you inevitably have these emotions. But if you cannot deal with them in a proper way, if, for example, every time you get angry, you throw a fit and you rage and like I did in the past, then it takes away from your ability to provide that containment. And your woman does not feel safe with you. She does not feel like her emotions are contained well, because you can't even contain your own. So learn to deal with your emotions, learn to let them flow, learn to express them in healthy ways. So that's it. That's what containment is, and how you can become the man who's able to provide it for her. Because as you give containment, you take your natural masculine role of the protector and provider, which means she's able to relax into her natural feminine role and become more appreciative, more soft, more nurturing, more submissive, more agreeable, more beautifully feminine in all the best ways. And at the end of the day, I know that's a lot of what us guys are looking for. So here's how to create it in the women you're seeing. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I love you. Also, since you're still here, one of the key ingredients to providing that containment to your woman and have her be more feminine is for you to have authentic masculine confidence, to be happy, grounded, and at peace with yourself, and to show up powerfully in your relationship. Now, if you want to build that, I have just a thing for you. I've put together a free guide with 3 of the best exercises that I always use with my premium clients. It's a quick free PDF that you can work through in about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's gonna massively elevate your confidence level. The link is in the description. Download it now. Take that opportunity because it's free and the exercises are absolutely fire. I'll see you next time. Thank you. I love you.